Hello friends, I'm back today with another sketchbook video. Today I'm going to be drawing some Shiba Inu dogs in my sketchbook. I started out by drawing some rough guidelines to begin with and then mapping out where I think the details should go. Overall, I found this dog to be quite enjoyable to draw but also quite challenging. I found parts of this dog's body were bubbly, such as its face was quite rounded, as well as its tail and parts of its body, but other parts of this dog are quite chiseled, such as the legs, so getting these to mesh together well was quite a challenge, especially in regards to proportions, as I wanted this to look like it was the same dog, and that the parts didn't look like they didn't belong with each other. Once I was relatively happy with how I'd laid out the body, I then began to work more on the face and the details by working on this little dog's nose and then working on the mouth. Once I was happy with those features, I then began to block in the other key features such as the eyes, making sure to capture those proportions right. At this part of the sketch, you'll probably see me change this part of the dog's face quite a few times as I'm trying to figure out the proportions that I mentioned earlier. But first up, next was to define these ears and shade in the rest of the body. Overall, I was quite pleased with the reference photo that I chose for this drawing, as I think it really showed off all of this dog's features, such as its pointy ears, rounded face, and curly tail. I think it was quite a strong pose as well, so it was really enjoyable to draw. I just needed to change this little dog's face one more time, and then I was relatively happy with the proportions. More often than not, my drawings don't turn out perfect the first time, so sometimes it's good to adjust things as you go, as you'll see things from a fresher perspective as you go along. For this next dog drawing, I decided to pick a really fun reference of this dog being quite playful with his paw up in the air. The reference photo for this particular drawing was of a puppy, so it was really fun to play with the proportions of this dog's face. I found this particular sketch a lot easier to draw than the first one, most probably because I'd warmed up my hands by this point. However, I didn't like the final drawing as much as the first one, but that's probably due to the reference photo and the pose that this particular dog's in, as I think the first one captures a Shiba Inu a lot better. I added a few tufts of grass just to give a little bit of context and to make sure this puppy wasn't floating in the air. For this final drawing, I decided to do something a little bit fun, as I quite often do with my sketchbook drawings. Shiba Inus are most probably known for being a bit of a meme on the internet. Most famously, there is a meme that refers to a doge, which is this Shiba Inu looking into the camera with a knowing look. So I decided to draw this Shiba Inu for this final drawing. I felt a lot of pressure with this particular sketchbook drawing only because this image is so famous on the internet and I really wanted to do it justice as it's so fun and playful. It was also particularly challenging as the Shiba Inu's face is so round, as I mentioned in the first sketchbook, so it's quite hard to capture those proportions. But I really tried my best to do this and I hope you like it, as it was a lot of fun to draw. but also a lot of pressure, like I mentioned. I did find this last sketch to be quite enjoyable to draw, as well as I could draw this dog's face in detail, as it's much closer up than the other two drawings that I've had before. So you can see I've added details such as the little dots on its muzzle, as well as some fur strokes and also some whiskers. Next up was just to work on the final details and shading of this doge's body. Overall, I had a lot of fun making this sketchbook spread, and if you've enjoyed it, be sure to let me know down in the comments, as I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more of my sketchbook videos, be sure to check out this playlist.